If you've been asking yourself at least once, why does it seem so easy for them to learn English while I struggle so much, then my friend, this video is for you. I guess that everyone who's learning a language knows that for some people it is so much easier to learn another language than for others. But why? Maybe if we knew the reason, we would be able to do something about it. Or maybe not. Let's find out. This video is sponsored by Lingoda. I saw and actually reposted a post on Instagram which was called "One Reason Why Some People Get Fluent and Others Don't." The idea was that those people who like to challenge themselves and accept the fact that they don't always understand everything makes them better learners in the long run because they don't view themselves as failures, while some people consider it's a waste of time and quit because they just can't deal with ambiguity. It really got me thinking. I think if we understand this better, we might use this information to our advantage. I'll leave the link to this Instagram profile in the description, and I'll actually quote the post because it's beautifully written. Some learners never learn to accept ambiguity and the feeling of not understanding. But you need to embrace the fact that you will not understand and it's normal instead of viewing yourself as a failure. There is a stage in language learning where you begin to understand and grasp conversations. But if a native speaks super fast or if they talk about a topic with a new vocabulary, you won't understand. It's normal. The problem is some learners can't accept ambiguity. They panic when they can understand one half of a sentence but not the other. They tell themselves they're not very good. And then they put themselves into school mindset mode where they feel like they have to understand everything, otherwise they failed. Associating language learning with negativity is often why some people get stuck at a language level instead of moving toward fluency. If you don't feel good doing something, you'll invent reasons to stop spending time on it. Language learning takes time. You're not dumb at all. You're just learning a new skill and you're literally supposed to not understand. Language learning is for the long haul, which means you have to change your mindset to get to the next level. The next time you're in conversation but don't understand something, chill out. Let it wash over you. Try to deduce the meaning from context, but if you can't, quickly move on to the next sentence. Don't dwell on it. Focus on the next thing. It's all part of the journey. By definition, we have to continuously confront things we don't understand in order to learn a language. The best learners just love embracing the challenge. So just relax and have fun. I mean, who self-studies a language? You must be pretty awesome. You might never understand everything, every single word and every single expression, and you most certainly won't know everything. As we all want to know and use English in the same way as native speakers know and use it, I'll reveal one huge secret to you. Native speakers don't know and don't use every single word, expression, or phrase in the English language. They sometimes don't understand people who speak with other English accents. There's just so many dialects and there's specific vocabulary that people might use in one English-speaking country or state, but not in others. So just relax. Some people also like preciseness and follow rules. They want an exact translation and explanation. This is just how their brains are wired. So when they come across this ambiguity, they resist it. Now, speaking from my own experience of communicating with native speakers, there was always a word, phrase, or expression that they didn't know, hadn't heard before, knew but hadn't ever used. Words they thought were weird or silly, and something that they couldn't explain. And this is normal and not a big deal whatsoever. Never have I ever thought that they were supposed to know everything and they were bad teachers or bad native speakers. We would oftentimes Google and learn those things together, and that was awesome. Plus, you're spending your precious time on worrying about your mistakes and thinking that you're not good enough, or regretting saying something because it was grammatically incorrect, or regretting not saying anything because you were too afraid and self-conscious. This post made me plunge into this even more. I've also read so much information, so many scientific articles, watched so many videos about this. And I have put all this together and grasped the main points so that you don't have to, and tried my best to compose everything concisely and so it is easy to understand. So if you're interested in this, bear with me and continue watching. So, digging further and analyzing myself and people I know, I found more things that affect the process of becoming fluent in a language and or prevent some people from becoming fluent. Try different methods, explore, be open to new things. There are different courses. All of them are good in their own way, but not all of them are going to work for everyone. For example, I think that working on your pronunciation helps with your overall comprehension as well as with grammar. It sort of connects you with the language and culture. Some people are visual learners, some are auditory, some are physical or tactile learners, and some are so-called reading-writing learners. Which one are you? Or maybe you're a combination of a couple learning styles. Maybe the learning method you're using or the one your teacher uses in class is just not good for you. Avoiding weaknesses. What do I mean? There's a grammar construction, like let's say the third conditional or mixed conditionals, or there's a hard word to pronounce. So a person might think this is too hard, and instead of trying to use it anyway to eventually master it, they avoid it so as not to embarrass themselves by making a mistake. The fear of making mistakes stops them from improving, so naturally they stagnate. I make mistakes all the time. Yeah, I don't like it, especially when this is something simple. I'm like, why? This isn't right. You know this. I make them and correct myself, but honestly, you make them less over time. But only by making them and pushing through and learning from them can you improve. And only by working on weaknesses, you overcome your insecurities. Theory versus practice. I have talked about this so many times. Reading grammar rules, writing down words, attending class, watching videos is good. But if you don't use it, don't practice, there's no use in that information. To illustrate, you might know everything about how to drive a car in theory, but only through practice and time you can become a good and confident driver. Those people who don't really sit and learn vocabulary or grammar intentionally, but have a lot of speaking practice, become fluent in a language a lot faster. Interest in culture and immersion in that culture, not language, but culture. I come across people way too often who want to learn English. That's it. They can't tell the difference between accents. A particular accent belongs to a particular country or region. They jump all around. They learn specifically British vocabulary while they learn how to pronounce some words with an American accent, one of because there is a variety, and some words with that same British accent. As a result, they find themselves confused. Their accent is not improving and people can't understand them. It's frustrating. Figure out what culture is closer to you, what culture you would like to know more about. What accent you lean toward more and focus on it, especially at the beginning. Nowadays, with the internet and all the possibilities it opens up, you don't have to live in another country to learn about its culture and immerse yourself in it. Learning language is a lifelong journey. I keep repeating these words because they deliver the message really well. I'm still learning. I'm a learner just like you. Time is going to be your biggest investment on your way to fluency. Think about it this way. You are so good and natural with your native language because you keep using it every single day and you keep learning something new about your native language all the time. Now think about this. People who move to other countries and start using their second language pretty much all the time for years forget their native language. Not completely, of course, but some for sure. Consequently, it's not like you can learn English for a year or till the point that satisfies you and then just stop. Stop learning it and practicing it and expect it to not only stay at the same level, but also to become better. People who ditch their second language for years need some time to brush up their knowledge and skills. One of the scientific studies held by the Cognitive Neuroscience Research Group linked to the Barcelona Science Park says that there is a positive correlation between specific speech discrimination abilities and the ability to learn a second language, which means that the individual ability to distinguish the specific phonemes of the language, both in the case of the mother tongue and in the case of other languages, is without a doubt a decisive factor in the learning process and the ability to speak and master other languages. There are people who can naturally identify sounds and hear the difference between sounds, and there are those who can't. Therefore, it's important to learn the sounds and pronunciation of the language you're learning. The sooner you start, the better. This can be learned and this should be learned, especially by people who don't have a natural talent to this. I once had an interesting conversation with a teacher of English at university. She heard me explaining to my hairdresser what I do and why I think that learning pronunciation is important. She was sitting next to us, and she said that she disagreed. And what people needed was grammar and vocabulary first, and then only if they wanted to, they could work on their pronunciation. I didn't argue with her. I just said that I had noticed a tremendous difference and a huge leap when my students, including me, started working on their pronunciation, thus their speaking skills. Another study that I found quite interesting shows that some brains are wired better for learning languages. It concludes, some individuals may have a particular neuronal activity pattern that may lend itself in better learning for a second language. However, that doesn't mean success at a second language is entirely predetermined by the brain's wiring. This study is a first step to understanding individual differences in second language learning. In the long term, it might help us to develop better methods for helping people to learn better, which only confirms that point about choosing the right method for you to learn. You know, the human brain is amazing. It's capable of incredible things. Of course, every human is different and unique. We're not just our brains. Humans are very complex beings. But unless, and God forbid, your brain is damaged somehow, you, my friend, are capable of things beyond your belief, okay? It is scientifically proven that learning a second language increases the amount of gray matter in our brains. The brain is a muscle, and so learning is exercising. By putting in consistent work, we enhance it. Now it's time to talk about Lingoda, and they're back with their language sprint. This means that you have the opportunity to boost your English by learning with native speaking teachers for free. So there's Sprint and Super Sprint, and now I'll walk you through the rules. If you attend 30 classes a month for 3 months, you'll get 100% cash back, and this is called Super Sprint. If you attend 15 classes a month for 3 months, you'll get 50% cash back, and this is called Sprint. So it's like a challenge. You're going to be learning English for 3 months. It'll help you bump up your confidence and improve your speaking skills drastically, as it's an intensive learning program. We've been working with them for almost 2 years and have gotten a lot of positive reviews, and many people have confirmed they have gotten their money back for a successful full completion of the language sprint. The sprint starts on April 28th, 2021, but you need to sign up for it before April 16th. There is a $59 deposit when you sign up, and each plan will be paid in 3 monthly installments. But if you attend all of the required classes, you will be fully refunded together with the deposit. If you do decide to sign up for the sprint, I have a $12 discount code for you on the deposit that you see on the screen, and it'll be in the description box as well. You can join the sprint in English, German, Spanish, French, and Business English. If you join it in English, you will also get free access to Cambridge speaking online tests. It's like icing on the cake. Lingoda is #1 trusted European language school with a German stamp of quality but very affordable prices. Even if you don't manage to attend all of your classes, you'll end up paying from €10 for a small group class with a max of 5 students. You can learn anytime 24/7 with proven methods and expert design curriculums that deliver real results. But hurry up, because places in the sprint are limited. To conclude the video, this is just information for you to think about and take into consideration, and this is for you to decide what to do with it. You don't have to agree with me and all those people that I referred to. However, I'm sure that I managed to shed some light on this. Like this video and leave your comments down below. I'm sure you have your own thoughts on this, and I surely didn't mention everything. It'd be very helpful for me and for everyone else to discuss this. And till the next one.